This video is on naming alkenes. Alkenes are unsaturated compounds with carbon-carbon double bonds. Naming them is very similar to naming alkanes, except there are a few additional things to take into account. For example, when looking for the longest continuous chain, we must also include both carbons of the double bond in said chain. The suffix becomes "ene" as opposed to "ane", and if there is more than one double bond, it becomes diene, triene, tetraene, etc. And finally, when we go to number the backbone, we must number it from the end that gives the lowest number to the double bond, not branching. In other words, the double bond takes priority. There are also two common names we need to be aware of. These are the vinyl group and the allyl group, which have this kind of structures. If you see these as substituents, you may be able to use the common name. However, word of caution, if it looks like the double bond is part of a smaller molecule, or if it seems to be pertinent to the whole structure, you're probably better off including the double bond in it, the whole name, not as a substituent. This will probably be more common, the vinyl and the allyl, when we go to much more complex structures. Otherwise, you're better off just not using these terms. Let's practice. Name this molecule. You may pause now. And here's the answer. Notice that because the alkene is starting on the 1 position when we number it in this direction, we do not need to put the number into the name, i.e. 1-pentene. It's just pentene. We'll do another problem. Name this molecule. You may pause now. And here is the answer. You will notice that there are two possible answers. The 2 indicates the position the double bond begins on, and it's always assumed that as a double bond is between 2 carbons, it means that if it starts at 2, it must end at 3. So we don't need to label the 3, okay? So back to the name. Which one is better? And that is pretty much up to your discretion where you put the 2. I recommend putting it into the name, i.e. pent-2-ene, so that the number is closest to the functional group that you need. This becomes relevant when you have multiple functional groups that are thrown into this suffix. Now try name this following structure. You may pause now. And here's the answer. Notice that because we had double bonds on both ends, we chose to start the numbering on the end that was closest to the branch. Alright, draw the structure from this name. You may pause now. And here's the answer.